Okay, we're going to change the gear lube in the lower unit. First, we're going to drain it out. What we use is a impact driver. You flip it to where it says left to right. That's impact, so you can get it to turn counterclockwise. And then you turn it back over to the left side, and you can use it for unscrewing the vent plugs when you get them loose. So yeah, you just use a hammer, set it left to right, just like that. Put it on the vent screws and hit it, boom, and you can see it churn counterclockwise when you do that. If you see it turning the other way, you're going the wrong direction. So I already got these broke loose, speed things up. So I got it back to from right to left to take those plugs out. A little cheat sheet here that explains it. And you can get these at auto parts store. They come with some assorted different bits for using it on a vehicle or in this case, an outboard engine. So we'll go ahead and drain the fluid out of this. They say to have this in the right position to drain it. Okay. And it looks like the washer's still on it. We'll take the washer off when we're done, just to make sure the washer is in good shape. And to get this draining good, you want to there's two vents on this particular engine. The service manual says release both vents. So you want to unscrew them. Yep. One there. You can see the gasket on this one. It's sitting there. It's blue. And then take this one out. And it's running out pretty good now. Both of these are the same. So we can put it back in. Little gaskets look good on both of these, so we'll be okay on that. I just had this serviced the beginning of boating season, but they tell you to do this when you're putting it in storage. That way it's all ready to go for next year. You won't have to do it again. All right, we'll let this drain out. So go ahead and hit this, put this on pause here for a second. And then when it's done draining, I'll turn it back on and show you the process on filling this. Okay, we got the lower unit drain. I have the Quicksilver lube ready to pump in. And I also have the starter back far enough to get the pinion gear raised up by hand so I can get in there with the 10 W30 oil. Just put a little bit there, a little bit there, and then use a brush to go around it. And that's how you get it in good shape for the winter. And well, when you go to start it in the spring, it'll be in good shape. Yeah. All right. There we go. And then the bolts, just, put a little bit on it. keep them from corroding. I mean, you have these in and out once or twice a year. It's not that bad. It's the bolts that sit in there for a long, you know, like years. Those are the ones you're going to have problems with. So anti-seize or the 2,4-C will work good for that. Just make sure I tighten that back up. And so let's go ahead and pump the fluid in here. Now when it starts coming out the top, let me grab a rag, you'll see bubbles. When you see bubbles, it still has air in it. So wipe it, let it sit for a second, and then pump it again. And when you start seeing it without bubbles coming out, you're good to go. And there it comes. I can see it starting to come out. I see air. I don't see it coming out that one, but I think that's just a vent hole anyway. What we'll do is we'll put that one in and then keep pumping this, with that one open and see if it starts. Yeah, see, I don't see any air bubbles in it now, so I'm going to close this one. Just finger tight for now. Let's see if it will take some more. Yep, see, it's coming out that one too. So there we go. So it's full, and I didn't see no air bubbles, so we're good to go. Get the tool. There it is. Okay. If you have this turned right, you'll feel resistance when you tighten it. I'm going to use a long screwdriver to actually put a little more torque on that, because this is kind of, well, I got oil all over it too. That doesn't help. So once you get those snug, then you have this one ready to go. I have the gasket on it. Unscrew this and then put that in right away. A little bit comes out, it's no big deal. I'm down low right now. That's because that's the way you want to drain it. But when you go to tighten these, and I got to take the prop off anyway, go ahead and tilt it out. Make it a little easier so you can stand up and do it. Okay. Put the cap back on here. There we go. Oh, I guess I should tell you. I tried to put this in when the gasket was still there, and it was actually starting to cross thread on me. And before I realized it, I went, oh, that gasket's in the way. So I got that gasket off and then screwed this in, and it went in. It's just that you don't want to, it's just plastic thread, so you don't want to strip them if you want to keep using this thing. All right. Looks like I'm almost I'm almost out. Yeah, I'll have to get some next season for sure. Oh, I'll have to get some sooner than that, because I gotta do my Yamaha kicker motor yet. All right, and wipe her down. you know. Get the grease off there. The grease is good, actually. Wipes it down. Good corrosion preventative. All right, so we got the starter pinion lubed up. We got the lower unit lubed up. Next thing is we're going to raise the prop up. Take that off and grease the splines on it. And there was something else here too. I'll have to think of it, but it'll be on the continued on here shortly. Okay, so I got the prop off. Has a washer, special washer that goes on it, and with a couple tabs that you bend over. The thing, if the tabs break, just go get a new one and put it on there. It keeps it from falling off. You don't want that to happen. So I got the prop off. I got some brake cleaner. Clean up the spline here. That's the thrush washer. I'm just going to leave it on. I'm just going to clean it up. When you take this off, it's good to see if there's any fishing line in there, because if there is, it'll tear up your bearing that's inside there. But looks good. There's no fishing line. Clean off the old grease here. Okay, then clean off the prop here too. There we go. I need to take a brush and go in and out of that side too. And find a brush that I can use to do that with. I think I got one. There we go. Something to be aware of too. If you're out in the water and you power up and the engine's powering up, you know, revving up, but you're not going anywhere, this is a rubber bushing. And the bushing is somehow bonded to the prop. And the metal, the inside's metal with the splines on it, right? Well, if it breaks loose, this is just going to spin, but the center will spin, but the outside won't. So if that happens, you have to take it to a prop shop or buy a new one. Just so you know. Let's see if I can find that brush here. Let's see here. There it is. Spray a little brake fluid on it. Brake cleaner. There we go. Then find something to clean it paper towel. Perfect. All right. And take this and push it through. There we go. Cool. Now it's time to grease. Alright. Don't have to put grease on that. We'll put it on the prop or the spline. And there we go. I still got some of the blue marine grease showing here, but it just hasn't pumped out all the way. It's still good though. Put some on the face of that thrush washer. And put a little on the threads. And there we go. Okay. Put this back on. There we go. Put the washer back on. There's a couple little tabs here. That's what these ears are for. And then put the nut on. Screws on clockwise. You would think it might be a little different, but this socket here is a 15/16 for this particular prop. I don't know if they're all like that for the larger props anyway. But then you put make sure your motor's in neutral when you do stuff like this. And don't put the nails up there. There we go. Okay, don't go crazy on the tightening. You just snug it and that's it. Then pull the tabs up. Hopefully they don't. Oh, looks like I gotta. So I'm gonna back it off to the next flat. There we go. Yeah, you don't want to keep tightening it, so just back it off. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So that's all good. So what I've been forgetting is the fogging that you have. I got a can of fogger. What you do is you turn the engine on. First you disconnect the fuel line. You turn the engine on, and when it starts to die, hit the 3 carburetors with the defog, let it die, pull out the spark plugs, spray about, they say 5 seconds, but I ain't gonna waste the whole can on the thing. No, I'd spray it so the cylinder's protected, all 3 of them, and then put the plugs back in. And that's it. It's ready for storage. All right, there we go. So that'll be here next. I'm going to show that procedure on fogging the engine. Even though it's a 2-stroke with oil injection, apparently it's still has to be defogged or fogged, whichever. All right.